is a Your Black World TV exclusive. Welcome to On the Real. I'm your host, Tiara Williams. Here on The Real, we talk about real issues affecting our African American community and try to find real solutions through conversation. So, let's get this conversation started. Meet my real talkers.
Hey guys, Javonna Brush from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Hi, Quentin Miles, Washington, D.C.
Cordell Capone, Los Angeles, California.
Of course, here on The Real, we talk about the good, the bad, and the ratchet of the African American community. So let's start with our real ratchet rundown. Are you guys ready?
We right at
Always ready for ratchet.
Yeah. Always ready for ratchet. All right. So this is an oldie but goodie. Obviously, this is a couple years old, 2008. But Morgan Freeman had a interview with Mike Wallace, and I didn't see this until just recently, so I thought it was important for our conversation. But the video where he was expressing how he felt about Black History Month, and he left him speechless.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? Well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't want a Jewish History Month.
I don't even want this interview anymore.
I know, I'm done.
Funny, I don't think I agree with what he said, but I think the intent was good.
Absolutely.
I don't think it was delivered in the way that I probably would have said it, but I think he was just saying that he wants people to focus on American history,
right,
including blacks into that,
right,
without excluding anyone.
I don't agree with it either. I don't agree with it. I wanted to move on to I want to talk about this real quick. But the tweets that I see from, Molly and Becky and Rachel, who are young, who are like, I feel like there shouldn't be a Black History Month. Why can't we have a White History Month? How do you guys feel about that? Like,
I just, again, ignorance, just not understanding and being, uneducated on the matter. Because growing up in school, only Black history I can really recall in elementary is Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And Marian Anderson, because I think we had to research outside of the box, pick someone different or something like that. But, there is a definite missing link in our history and culture, and if they included it more within our curriculum, we wouldn't have to necessarily have a
separate
month.
That's true. That's true.
I think they're just young and uninformed.
Yeah.
They're young,
Right.
so they can't even fathom why it would be important to focus on something like Black history. To have a real focus on it. So like Javonna was saying, it's a lot of the ignorance. They're just ignorant to the fact of why, But the other thing is, it's so funny that there's always this whole thing about Black History Month. But I never hear anybody else talking about when it's like Hispanic History Month. Or when it's like Poetry Month. No, Hispanics have a month.
Is it a month?
Yeah, they have.
Aside from Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah.
And you know what? That's not even really the Mexican independence.
The point is,
Tangent.
the point is, there are days and there are months that are dedicated to celebrating different things, different cultures, different belief systems, all these types of things. And it's not that those belief systems or those cultures own those days or those months, but it's just a time to get you focused and say, you know what? I should be taking this with me the rest of the year and not just that day. You know what I'm saying? So that's really the main focus, is to say, hey guys, remember Black history?
Right. Remember what we've
remember what we've accomplished. Remember where we've
Yeah.
come from. Remember these people that we have, so we don't have to look up to whoever we have right now, but we can say, oh man, remember this one or remember that one and remember what they've done.
Right.
and then take that with us the rest of the year.
So let me just put this out there, because I know you're going to talk about Black History Month. So let's just go into the discussion itself. Do Black people still care about Black History Month? Like, is it something that we should still have, or is it something that we should redefine, or, with all of the conversations that people are having and the miseducation of it, should we redefine it? Because people are ignorant to why we have it, so maybe we should.
Well, touching on redefining, I'm not even sure what you mean by that.
I just mean in terms of, a lot of people feel like they don't understand. For instance, there was a columnist, I can't think of his name right at this moment, but he felt like Black History Month won't stop racism. So we should just get rid of it.
I don't think the intention was to stop racism.
Exactly. People don't know what it's for. Its purpose. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I just mean, that's what I mean in terms of...
I just remember when I was younger, not gonna lie, I love my people, I do, but Black History Month was boring when I was younger. Mm-hmm. So I think as far as the youth, if we can relate to them, because I think that's a part of the learning process, you have to relate to someone in order for the information to register. Mm-hmm. If we can somehow relate to the younger children the information we're trying to give, then maybe it'll register for them. Mm-hmm. So maybe talk about something that's a little bit more current, but that's still a part of Black History Month. Mm-hmm. So let's say Gabby Douglas or whoever is making history today, maybe relate that to them because they can talk about it because it's on the news versus some of the stuff that actually happened years ago.
Most kids don't even like history. It's boring.
Exactly.
The subject in general.
Exactly.
But you can make history fun and interesting no matter who the history is about.
Exactly.
But I just have a question. Do you guys think that Black History Month kind of gives people the right to not focus on Black history the rest of the year?
I think it's exciting to have a time of the year where we're looked at as royalty, instead of being ratchet or whatever. There's this time when I can say, oh, I didn't even know that fact about, who created whatever, the stoplight, peanut butter, whatever you want to throw out there. Mm-hmm. There's like all of these great things that we did, and they're forgotten because it's too boring. Thank God that I had an opportunity to go to a school that, I was in this program in junior high school, and I learned my African American history. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people weren't in Afrocentric. Shout out to Afrocentric. But I didn't have that. A lot of people didn't have that opportunity. I mean, we did plays and all types of things, and it made such a difference in who I am.
I can see how that makes a difference because I don't know about you guys, but I felt like every year it was the same people. The curriculum needs to be broadened. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times these professionals that are teaching the children, they only have a small amount of information. Mm-hmm. So it's not that we can't talk about it all year round. I think we just focus so much on a small part of our history that we put it all into 1 month and then maybe kind of divvy some other stuff throughout the year.
You know what I thought was awesome?
What?
I saw a quote that Malcolm X was really fond of saying, and he said that our history didn't start in chains. And I say that every day because it's like, oh my God, it's true.
It didn't. Mm-hmm.
But it's so profound, but we don't really know.
We always go back to that transatlantic slave trade.
That's
That's a tight hold.
Literally, it cuts off, and I think that makes a difference between us and other cultures. It's like people are proud of where they came from. Like my mother's 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 mother was from here and did this, and then all you can say is, well, my grandma was on that transatlantic thing and she came over.
Yeah.
Before that, it's fuzzy.
Yeah, it is. It is. Even for me, for someone who's taken into further research, it is. It's hazy.
Q, I have a question for you. If we as a culture, if we as this community knew about our past and the royalty that we came from, do you think people would still kill each other at the rate that they do? Do you feel like girls would be on Twitter with model pics naked, half naked? Do you feel like they would respect themselves? If you knew that you were Frederick Douglass's nephew, would that make you walk a different way?
I would like to say yes. I would like to say that would make a difference. Mm-hmm. But I just don't think it would make a difference. Just like I think it's very interesting that, we have full knowledge of the fact that there were slaves who died for certain rights. Mm-hmm. For instance, there were slaves who died because they couldn't read. and all they wanted to do was read, or all they wanted to do was have their children read. And now grammar and spelling is not respected at all.
Oh no, my God!
In the social media world,
no.
if you
worst.
dare to talk to someone about a grammatical error or whatever the case is, they will let you know how lame you are.
Yeah.
Like, don't police my grammar. I talk like this, whatever. To the point where if you look at some of the reports that these kids are writing in school,
they don't know the
and
difference.
That's the only reason why I would say that sometimes knowing those things, it doesn't make the difference. I would hope that it did, but sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes there's still a disconnect there.
So take
I
us
agree
out
with
for
all of that, but I think the disconnect, because I actually teach in addition to entertainment, the disconnect I feel are the parents and people like, not necessarily us four on the panel here, but people like ourselves who talk about it instead of showing someone the ropes. Because when I was teaching when I'm teaching my classes rather, the students are very intelligent, but when the parents come to the school, that's the disconnect. The parents may not deliver information to the students the way they should, but I feel like the students are 20 times far more intelligent than what the parents are. So I just feel like if the parents could maybe guide them a little bit better, or maybe not if the parents are lacking in education, but remember back in the day when your neighbor could kind of straighten you out a little bit, if the neighbors or the people that are witnessing any type of failures or any faults in children, maybe, or the parents maybe help out in any way possible. I think that's where the disconnect is.
I think that everything that you guys have said is true. I mean, you've raised some great points, and just as a community, guys, we just have to embrace and not think that our education or our history is boring. Like, we have to educate ourselves, and I think we'll find a lot more pride in who we are. I think it's safe to say that. So thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for joining us here on The Real, and we'll see you soon. Hi, I'm Tiara. If you like the programming that you've seen today, go support us on GoFundMe.com. We're at www.gofundme.com/A Real Righteous Startup. That's A Real Righteous Startup. REEL Righteous Startup. And we'll see you there. Thank you so much in advance. Bye.